Hello, my name is Jessie Jobson, and I am a breast cancer survivor. This is my son, Jonathan Manuel, and today we are going to show you our S.N.S system and our version of breastfeeding after my double mastectomy. So the first thing that I thought of when I was diagnosed wasn't of losing my beautiful breast, but was of my future children and not being able to breastfeed them. But little did I know that I would recreate the process when I had my first. So Jonathan has been very wonderful to help us out and to be our guinea pig. And so he's a little hungry, so I'm going to get everything ready and show you how it all works. Okay, so when creating your own S.N.S system, there's just a few things you'll need. Let's see it. So I went online and did my research, you know, just like you're doing right now. And essentially, I just got a little bottle that you don't mind ruining the nipple, obviously, for. And one of these Medela, or you can use any brand that you like, but essentially it's just one of those feeding tubes. Then you'll also need a pair of scissors, you'll need a Band-Aid or two, and you can use a nipple shield with another bottle top that I have cut, or you could just use a bottle top. So the nipple shield isn't like 100% necessary, but some people like them, so I'll show you kind of with both. So how you're going to make your homemade S.N.S system will be, you'll take the bottle that you're going to use to put the milk in. You'll remove the top, and you're just going to cut a really tiny hole to fit the tube through. So you just take a snip there, and I'm going to try to show you in the camera. It is, which you can't really see, it's kind of hard to see, but to see how it's really tiny. It's just enough for that tube to go through. So you'll put your feeding tube into the bottle, and then you'll insert the tube through the hole like this. And what I noticed was that when I tried this the first time, this tube was super long for him. It felt like it took him a really long time to suck to get the milk through the tube to him. So he got kind of tired of that. He was kind of like, what's going on? Because when I did have him, we did do feeding at the breast for the first feeding, but he went to the NICU, so they did start bottle feeding after that. But so what I'm going to do is just simply, I'm going to take this, but you don't want to cut it too short because you're going to have the bottle laying by you, so it has to be long enough to go into the bottle. So I just do like maybe like 1.5 inches or 1 inch at the bottom. That's what I would do, is I just cut that. And then stick that down. Stick that down to the bottom of this bottle. So see, it still lays at the bottom so that it'll catch, like when the milk starts flowing down, it'll catch to the bottom of that. Okay, so here's our little bottle. So the next thing we do that is really helpful is you take a Band-Aid, so that like when things are being pushed around and moved around and you're trying to get this going, it's not being ripped from the location. So I just take the Band-Aid and like wrap it around. I need the table to hold it, so just wrap it around to kind of like firmly keep it in place on this bottle. So like this. Does that make sense? Cool. It's like nothing pretty, but okay. So once you've got that going, again, I already cut it, but you can see it was just a regular nipple, like that came from the bottle. And what I did is I ended up, I cut the nipple itself, because originally when I went through this journey of trying to figure this all out, since I have a double mastectomy and I don't have the nipples like most people would have when creating recreating the breastfeeding system, the S.N.S, they would just attach this tube to the outside of their nipple where the baby feeds. But I don't have a nipple because I'm a double mastectomy breast cancer survivor. So for all of you double mastectomy breast cancer survivors out there, this is going to be the amazing part that I went through trying to figure out, and I'm sharing with you. So we originally thought, oh, a breast nipple shield. And this worked really great when he came out and we did our first feeding, because we just took a syringe and put this on and, you know, put milk in there with the syringe, and then he sucked, and he, you know, newborn babies right out of the womb, you know, he didn't have that powerful of a sucking grip yet. But what I noticed is especially after using the bottle in the NICU and then coming home, trying to use the S.N.S system together, this collapsed a lot. And it was like, for him, it was like, what's going on? Because, you know, essentially it was just this flat thing in his mouth that he was trying to get milk out of. So what I did is, just like a bottle, and I cut it into kind of almost like a nipple shield, right? And you can use another Band-Aid to attach it to your breast if you want for the first time. I found that it was almost easier for me and for him if I had the flexibility to move it around as he's eating. I have a little thing there. Because he, of course, you know, going from bottle to the breast, it was kind of new, and, you know, babies are learning how to eat just like we're learning how to breastfeed. So him moving around, getting, you know, everybody trying to get situated, it was nice to be able to move it to the right location. Another thing that I found worked best was to put the tubing on the very outside of the shield, the created shield that we made. Because if I tried to stick it inside, like a lot of people suggested at like lactation consultant appointments, it almost seemed like he couldn't suck the milk out because the suction wasn't good enough for whatever reason. So just like as if this was our real nipple, we're going to hold it on the outside. So essentially, if you see my hands, I kind of have it in the position that I'm going to when I put it on my breast for him to eat. So it's really important to have like a nice firm grip. It's just kind of like you're gripping like chopsticks, your finger are chopsticks, and this is the food or whatever. And so you're going to hold, you okay, buddy? Good boy. So you're going to hold the tubing on the outside of the nipple here, and I'll try to get that closer for you. So do you see how I'm holding it like that? And then that will just be inserted into his mouth. So this will be what I'll be doing. So essentially what I do is I like to set this inside of a tank top. So this is my friend. I hold this side down, and I hold this to the location for him to be able to breastfeed. So now I'll show it to you live so that you can see how it all works, because he's getting a little hungry and fussy, if you can hear him. I'll be right back. All right, so we're back, and here's my little always hungry munchkin. He loves to eat. And just for the video, I just put a little tiny bit so that we can make the video and he doesn't get too fussy, because if he's super duper hungry, then he gets a little testy. But let's see. So essentially, just like I said, in your tank top, go ahead, and it's best to have like a cami, you know, the ones that have the lip in there for your breasts. It's okay, Bubby, we're gonna eat. But these regular tank tops work too. Just like kind of a shelf to hold it in there. And then we're going to, I just gotta get adjusted. Boo. Sorry. Yes. Okay. Oh, okay. sometimes he has a hard time getting the suction with. There you go. So one thing that I can't really show with this camera, but I'll show you when he's done, is that I am holding my finger onto the back of it, my thumb, so that he can get a suction on the tubing, and that he's not getting tons of air out of that nipple. And that's how it's done. And the best thing too is if you can't get the system down, it doesn't work for you, that's okay. The next best thing is skin to skin with a bottle. I mean, it totally works. Just do what's best for you and what feels most comfortable. So just like I said I'd show you when he was feeding, when I had it here, I would hold my thumb at the back to create kind of like an airlock so that he's not just sucking down a bunch of air, and so that the sucking occurs for the tube, like the pressure and all that gets going there. So I did want to make sure I showed you that because that was something that I had to learn. It was a learning curve for us. So yep, so just like that, and then it goes into his mouth, and that's how he eats. All right, well, thanks so much for watching today. I hope that you gained any information that you can use for you and your baby, or to help someone else. So if you need any more tips, don't hesitate to reply to the link, and I can go ahead and give you more information or contact you. So hope you have a great day. Breast cancer survivors.